What's going on, guys? Andrew Piluk Sports here, back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about something that just happened very recently. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up because I'm having laptop issues again, so forgive me. But Jose Bautista is reportedly back with the Jays on a one-year deal worth $18 million. For one season, that's pretty good. There's a mutual option for second and third years, and I believe somebody had tweeted that it could get anywhere up from 3 years at $60 million. But let's just talk about this contract first, because I don't even think it's going to get that far. So first of all, let me just say I'm happy that Jose is back. I mean, the bat flip, and he's Jose Bautista. I mean, there's a lot of people that are upset about the Jays offseason because they weren't able to keep Edwin Encarnacion, Brett Cecil, Michael Saunders, etc. But for me, Jose Bautista has been the guy that, stepped in. He's a home run king, all-star. A lot of people forget that Jose Bautista's played on a lot of really bad Blue Jay roster teams. Sorry, that probably didn't make sense. He's played on a lot of bad rosters with the Blue Jays. And, usually superstars like him don't usually stay. Usually you see at the deadline Bautista, in a trade rumor, but that didn't really happen very often. The biggest one was a couple years ago with, what was his name, Dominic Brown, I believe. I could be messing that up, but he was also a right fielder. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure he played with the Phillies or something. We ended up actually getting him on like a waiver pickup or like a small trade. I'm not sure. Not waivers, but sorry, I was just watching an NHL waiver wire, but we ended up getting Dominic Brown, and like it was funny because I was like, trade Bautista, it doesn't make sense. And Bautista stayed with all those teams, and he just kept putting up big numbers. And most people forget that Jose Bautista has the most home runs since 2010. And I mean, he didn't have a big year last year, but a lot of people are expecting him to come back with another big year next year. Anyways, what I'm trying to get to is Jose Bautista loves Toronto. He stuck with this team when it was bad, and we literally built around Jose Bautista. And you can say whatever you want, but Bautista has stayed with this team since the start of this build. Every year he was always on AA's case to get another big name, to get big name players. They got Donaldson. They made all those that massive trade with the Marlins prior to that. And that didn't work out, obviously. Shout out to, what was his name, Josh Johnson, the pitcher. Absolutely awful. But, when we got Donaldson, we got Martin. We started picking up names, Tulowitzki, Price. Bautista was, the guy that stuck there. Same with Edwin. But, I mean, Bautista literally was the polarizing figure, the home run king, the guy on all the pizza ads. And you have to look at it this way. They're getting him back for 1 year at $18 million, and the Blue Jays probably still think they're contending this year. I think they're a wild card team, which is okay. We'll get to that in another video. But the fact of the matter is, as much as the offseason has looked crazy, with Bautista wanting $150 million and then having an off year with injuries, whatever. By the way, if this past season was prorated, I believe that's what you call it, he would have had 31 home runs. Which is pretty good, obviously. But, for $18 million for 1 year, that's not bad. And what I was going to mention was the fact that in the second and third year, it's a mutual option. I believe that's what it's called. This is the thing about the mutual option. That's probably not going to get exercised. And with Jose and the Blue Jays, I think this might be his last year in a Blue Jays uniform, if you were to really ask me truthfully. Unless something crazy happens, I think the Blue Jays are probably more of a rebuilding team in the next couple years, and I don't think they want to lock up money in Jose Bautista. Unless he has a monster year and they, change their mind, which I personally think he'll have a monster year. But I think Jose's going to get his numbers back up, and people are going to look at him and be like, okay, he had one bad year. Let's give him his money, and he'll have a big year in free agency next year, maybe for a 3-year deal or something like that. Because, besides the injuries, Bautista actually is in pretty good shape. But the mutual option, again, I just can't see it being exercised. It doesn't happen very often in baseball when the mutual option is exercised. or when the mutual option is brought up in a contract. We'll have to see how it works out. There is a lot of money details that have to be worked out, but the 1 year $18 million is pretty much a lock. That's only a little bit more than what he got for the qualifying offer, so the Jays officially lose a draft pick, whatever. I mean, if the team's building, we do have a pretty decent prospect system. Like, it's not, I guess it's not very good, but I mean, you have to start somewhere, and losing one pick is probably not the end of the world. But, you know, the thing about Bautista is, like I said, I'm happy about this contract signing, but let's break this down. First of all, 1 year, $18 million. We know that for sure. He'll be on the roster. But I wanted to get to something else where it's like, you know, the Blue Jays had to look at Bautista as their number one option because there wasn't a lot of other free agents out there that they could choose from to put in the corner outfield. I mean, Bautista's the best fit. He's the best option. He loves Toronto, and reportedly he turned down other offers from possibly Tampa and Cleveland. People are saying that he turned down offers that were more term and more money, and I'm not just saying that for the video. There was multiple tweets and multiple videos that I seen that he did turn down more money. He does want to win in Toronto, and unfortunately I don't think they can win a World Series this year, and that dream of him winning a World Series as a Blue Jay probably will never happen, unfortunately, which is kind of a tough pill to swallow for me as well, because I want Bautista to win as a Blue Jay, because I think, you know, I mean, he's a Blue Jay. He bleeds blue. He wanted to come back. He loves the fans, and that kind of hurts me a little bit. But I'll get back to this point. Bautista was the best option available. He's not the best defender, but if he does bring back those offensive numbers, which again he will, in my opinion, that's only good things for the Blue Jays. So after them locking up Jose at $18 million, their outfield is pretty much a lock, which is something that they needed to accomplish. Now they'll go to the bullpen in the backup catcher position. Now, one thing I wanted to get to, as there's noise in the background, apologize, and I'm also trying to work with my camera quality. For some reason it's been off. I keep looking to the side there to make sure it's okay. One thing I wanted to get to was a message to the Blue Jay fans. Particularly, I want to talk to, first off, I want to get this out of the way, and I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not trying to be mean or whatever, but if you started watching the Blue Jays like 2 years ago, please stop complaining about the team, stop complaining about management, stop complaining about Jose Bautista. You literally have no say in this because you've been watching for like 2 years. I've watched the Jays my whole life, and you know, you can tell these people who are, you know, bitching on Facebook and Twitter and whatnot about the Blue Jays, and they literally have no idea what they're talking about. Please listen to this, because I want to talk about the treatment of Jose Bautista for the past, you know, since the Jays were out of the playoffs. Even somewhat before that. Please just listen up to this little part of my video. Stop disrespecting Jose Bautista. Okay, listen, he's not the exact same as he was when he got here. He probably won't be another home run king. You know, I think he can be an all-star. He has one bad year, and there's so many Jays fans that are like, yep, get Bautista out of here, you know, whatever. We've had enough of him. Jose is no good. I wanted Edwin, whatever. Listen, Edwin, if he wanted to come here, he would have accepted the money. Let's be honest here, alright? I talked a lot of crap about Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro, but the fact of the matter is, they offered Edwin 4 at 80. Get over it. He didn't come back. You know, he could have accepted it, and he didn't. With Jose Bautista, literally, like I said earlier in the video, he wanted to come back to Toronto. He didn't see himself playing anywhere else. The guy turned down more money and more term, which he probably should have accepted, to be honest with you, from other teams because he wanted to come back to Toronto. The Toronto Blue Jays literally went through, like I heard on Tim and Sid, they pretty much went through plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G before they got back to Jose Bautista. And, you know, the guy still wanted to come back. It was kind of a thing where it was like the Jays needed an outfielder, and they're like, oh, well, you're the best available, here's the money at $18 million. And Jose obviously wanted more money. Hell, at the beginning of the season, he wanted $150 million. But guess what? He didn't get it because he had a bad season, and he was hurt because of you know, because of the injuries. He had a bad season, whatever. And so now he's signed, he's got his $18 million, and you got these Jays fans, there's half of them are happy, half of them are upset. It's a 1-year deal, for God's sake. He didn't sign a 10-year, $300 million contract, okay? First of all, Jose's going to come back and have a good year. I'm going to keep saying it, and then when he does it, you'll come back here and realize that I was right. And the Blue Jays analysts on Twitter and Facebook and whatever, Sportsnet, they've been saying it. Bautista's got a huge chip on his shoulder. He didn't get his money, he didn't get his term, and now he's pissed. And there's one thing you don't do. You don't piss off Jose Bautista. And I cannot wait to see this. So let me just quickly say this rant and say this to these Blue Jays fans that for some reason don't have Jose's back anymore. Jose dealt with the crap of this team. He had to deal with the crap before we got all these good players. He had to deal with these can't say that word on YouTube. Crap seasons with a crap roster, a crap pitching staff for years, and he stayed. The Blue Jays wanted him to stay. He loves the fans, he loves the crowd, he loves everything about Toronto. The guy stayed in Toronto, and you're still bitching at him for no reason. And you know what? There might be a slight bias here. I'm a big fan of Jose Bautista, but I'm also a big fan of people that want to stay and play for the team that I love. I grew up watching this team. Like, I picked this team. Obviously, I live in Canada. This is our team. But, you know, there's tons of people that don't cheer for the Blue Jays here in Canada. But I want to be a Blue Jays fan. I watched them my whole life. And you know what? Jose Bautista has been my favorite player for a really long time. And the guy represents Toronto. The guy has played great seasons for us. He has one bad year and suddenly everybody turns their back on him. How about we show a little bit of respect to the guy that basically helped us rebuild this franchise and be a contender for the last couple years. And you know what? It may not last past this year. And guess what? Jose might be gone, but he will go down as one of the best Blue Jays of all time, and he's still being disrespected. The guy literally put Toronto on his back for how many years now? He's had to deal with the crap for the past couple years, for years beyond last year. And you know what? He stuck around, he got his contract, and he wanted to get paid like every free agent. I love that too. They're like, oh, he wants all this money. Everybody wants that money. That's the point of free agency. You go to free agency to get the money you've wanted. In your career, you go there, you go to the open market, you try to get the money. And I know damn well Jose Bautista didn't think he was still going to get $150 million after this season. But apparently everybody has their sources on Twitter that tells them that Jose still wants $100 million. Give me a break. I'm gonna relax now because Jose's a Blue Jay. My girlfriend actually got me this. It's Jose's new hat. His logo's on the side here. The camera wasn't focusing, so I just kept it on my head, even though I took it off to try to get it to focus. But again, I'm having camera issues. Anyways, just to sum it up, Jose Bautista is a Blue Jay. I'm not sure when this video is going to be posted because, again, laptop issues. Of course, what else is new? Shout out to Best Buy. Thank you for helping me even though it's not working. Yeah, so Jose Bautista, 1 year, $18 million mutual options for the second and third year. I'm pumped to have him back. Joey Bats, the bat flip. He is a legendary Blue Jays player already. And you know what? I'm going to get him more in depth into his statistics and his on-base percentage, slugging percentage, whatever, when I do player profiles for the Blue Jays this year. I just wanted to kind of get my feelings off my chest because I've been tweeting about it and I wanted to make a video format version so I could stick it all into one. You know, Twitter needs longer tweets even though it would kind of look weird, but whatever. I'm talking way too much now. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you liked it. Thank you for the support on my last video. The Matthews vs. Line debate video has over 1,000 views in just over 2 weeks, I believe. So thank you very much for that. Go check out some other channels like Steve Dangle, which you probably know of. Downtown Sports, I believe the channel is called. Go check them out. Go check out everybody. Go check out YouTube. Go watch some YouTube videos. Thank you for watching my videos, and I'll be back soon with another video. Probably some sneaker related videos too if you guys are into basketball shoes, stuff like that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.